What's that, a rainstorm? Yeah, it's coming through loud. Mm.
All right, brothers and sisters, we're live. Yes, it sounds like someone should have built an ark behind me because the rain is coming down. Okay. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. I'm sorry for the tardiness, but I have a brand new setup. I'm going to show you all that in a couple of minutes, and it took us a while to get it started. I'm really trying to get this ramped up for the academy, but blessings to my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Hey, what was going on? You see the title? While the world was watching Trump. Hold tight. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. That's right, brothers and sisters, the Hebrew and Bible Academy, you are invited. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly Sabbath lesson. And because we are behind the time, we're going to jump right in, but not before I play at least a verse. Let's go. The Most High is calling back his people. Let's go.
The East is where we're from.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC,
The Assyrian king.
the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell.
With a great escape.
The great escape, we went through the Euphrates.
The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went.
The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim.
Shalom, shalom.
Naphtali
From the house of Hawaii.
The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulun from Panama.
Yeah, the North American Indians.
Simeon, the Manakites. AHAYAH's gathering Israel.
The Arabs and Africans
Told
told
us
at gunpoint.
together our wives and children then sold us.
Come on. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon.
Rivers of Babylon, we found our brothers here.
All right, let's go.
AHAYAH, gather us.
AHAYAH, gather us. We need you now, AHAYAH. I'm Elder Ricard Shaw of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly broadcast, and I hope you all chime in. And of course, I've opened it up for the phone calls. I really would like to hear your input out there, a give and take in the conversation this evening. There's so many things going on, especially while everyone is actually watching the Trump event. Okay, I have to give it up to the Most High, AHAYAH, the God of all gods, the God of the Hebrews, who sent YASHAYA for the sins of the world, to save our nation, to one day establish Jacob on earth. And brothers and sisters, we got next. And yes, the Holy Spirit was sent to gather the 12 tribes of Israel, and that's who we be. All right. That's who we be. Hit the like button, because there's so many things I would like to touch on today, this evening. I'm going to jump right in. Before I go in, let me just show y'all real quick. Let me see. I got Elder Lawyer there. Oh, Lawyer, let me straighten you out over here. Let me get you all straight. I have a brand new setup I'm going to show. I want to show everyone the brand new setup. And of course, brothers and sisters, none of this would be possible without your continual love and support for this work, okay? Let me see if I could, 1 second, open this browser up real quick. 1 second. 1 second, folks. Let's see, Safari. I don't know if it'll switch up here. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm having some technical issues with this. 1 second. I want to show you all a few things, but before I do that, I need to make sure the window capture is actually working. Okay, there it is. All right, now we're cooking with grease. All right, I wanted to show y'all this real quick before we start out. Okay. I know a lot of you probably can't see this. 1 second. A lot of you probably can't see this setup real quick right here. But right here, brothers and sisters, is the new computer setup that the church, that you have all helped us purchase to ramp up not just the weekly broadcast, but also the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And while I'm away, we're going to have a team that's going to work on the studio to make the academy more interactive. I would like to say, brothers and sisters, from the bottom of my heart, because you don't really have to support, but you support anyway, on behalf of the Gathering of Christ Church and all those behind the scenes, including the elders, deacons, the brothers and sisters, thank you. Thank you. A humble thank you, brothers and sisters. This work have gone beyond anything I thought it could ever become. And y'all have purchased the church a brand new setup, and I'll do everything to make serious use of this equipment, okay? We picked it up. It's beautiful. I wanted to show y'all what's behind the camera. That camera right there is a camera that's shining on me right now. But I wanted to say thank you. I mean, none of this would be possible without your continual support. And I wanted to say that from the bottom of my heart, the water, brothers and sisters. I really appreciate you. And to let you know, when you send money to the church, it goes to the church, okay? Anything you send me as offerings or whatever the case is, that goes to me if it's name specific. Keep in mind, any money that goes to the church goes to the church. I don't touch none of the church's money. All right? So when I see things happening like this, I really appreciate it. I love you, because it's showing the continual progression of the Most High using this ministry to help so many people. All right. And while I'm at it, let me say this real quick before I jump into the topic. We do have a brand new Hebrew and Bible Academy coming August 4th. Okay. Let me get this out of the way so I can jump right into it. August 4th, we have a brand new academy unfolding the seals of the apocalypse, Revelation. We're going to be breaking down a lot of these lessons, but we're going to teach from the beginning to the end. What is the prophetic meaning or understanding that we need to understand with these particular lessons when it comes to the coming of our Lord and Savior? And we're attempting to capture that in the next academy, unfolding the seals of the apocalypse is the theme. Okay? Unfolding the seals of the apocalypse, brothers and sisters. The Hebrew and Bible Academy is a 3-month online biblical course, a weekly online lessons every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. We teach original Hebrew, which is the Phoenician, conversational Hebrew. We also provide an in-depth Bible teachings on the history of the world from a prophetic view, and we have news like none other on the earth. It so happens you had to have been there this Sunday when we dropped what's really going on with the Trump shooting, okay? But we're going to touch on, I'm not going to really touch on some of the conspiratorial things out there, questioning whether or not it happened and all that, because I hear that's out there. I'm going to handle it from a different angle today, all right? And I hope you all stay tuned as we break this down. But anyway, last Sunday, we did go into that shooting, all right? And we told everyone after the shooting exactly what to look for when the news began to develop the story. And everything we said that was going to go down is happening right now, right? So, as far as how the news covered these events. Anyway, we have brand new lessons this academy. Creation declaring the end from the beginning. The final judgment of evil. The return of the diaspora. Identifying the true diaspora outside of just the Americas, okay? We're going to show you that the expulsions, when the Jews were expelled from Spain and Portugal, these were all black people. It's even recorded the shores of Africa where they left them after expelling Israel, which were Jews, from Europe. Even the Irish slaves who were expelled out of Europe and went into slavery, these were the remnants of the royalty that was in place during the Dark Ages with King James. All of the expulsions of the Jews were 100% black people, and we're going to prove it. If they were white, I wouldn't have no problem with it. But it's time that people start telling the truth, because people are hiding behind victimhood and all that, saying that for thousands of years, certain things happened to them. And through that, they're getting what? Political protection. And also, they're actually getting financial support for things that have actually happened to our ancestors. So I'm going to cover that in the next academy, okay? The return of the diaspora. The judgment of the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and the kingdom of God. And guess what? We have a brand new lesson that I'm going to talk about. We're going to go into the religion of Moloch. We're going to show you Esau's and the Canaanites' original practices. I touched on the cult of soul. I think I have my book next to me somewhere. I put it somewhere around here. But I touched on the cult of soul, the hidden religion within what we call modern day Christianity. All the foolishness that people are talking about in Christianity isn't happenstance, okay? What we're seeing in Christianity, all the foolishness with the pastors going off, the sodomite behavior, the acceptance of all that the world is, folks, that's the cult of soul. That's the original religion they were doing behind closed doors, but have now exposed the world to it through Christianity. The brand of Christianity we have today, Christ wouldn't recognize. He would recognize it as pagan temple worship. And I'm going to connect that to what? The Moloch sacrifice. Hence the reason you'll always have the political argument of what? Reproductive rights, the getting rid of children before they have an opportunity to live. Folks, that's part of their religion. That's part of their religion, okay? So I wanted to put that out there. Let me go over some of these lessons. The creation of the universe, ordering the end from the beginning, tracing the serpent seed, the final judgment of evil, the promised seed, we're going to go into that. Who is Edom? But I'm going to go into Edom's religion amongst the Canaanites, how he switched up after he lost his birthright and blessing. He made a pact or an oath with Jobulin or Satan. And these are they who are at the helm of the Jesuit order in all Freemasonry, whether it be Scottish or York Rites. When Esau lost his birthright, he went to the land of Canaan. Well, what did he begin to practice while he was there? It will shock you. I'm going into it. And we're going into exposing the secret oaths of the Jesuits in this academy. History, Bible, you don't want to miss this next academy. Go to historytimes.org to enroll. Okay? Now, let's jump right in. Hold up. One other thing before I go. Historytimes.org. And yes, I'm excited. Tomorrow I'll be on the plane to Las Vegas. Okay? We're going to have an all-white affair Saturday night. Friday we'll be actually going into early morning between 9 a.m. and 11:30. We'll be baptizing souls in Las Vegas. Okay? So I hope to see you all there. For those who can attend, I hope to see you there. Okay? It's the West Coast all-white event. For those who are interested, Friday baptism, Saturday we're going to have early morning teaching, okay, and then we're going to have a dinner and all these things and live entertainment. Have a good time with my West Coast brothers and sisters. I can't wait. I'm chopping at the bit to hug and embrace brothers and sisters I haven't seen in a long time. And we're going to make this an opportunity to convert more souls also, okay? If this interests you, go to GOCC, send an email to GOCC, West Coast 144 at gmail.com. Again, GOCC West Coast 144 at gmail.com. Okay, send an email and hey, we'll make your acquaintance. Now, it's going to be great. I mean, I can't wait. But anyway. Oh, yeah, I forgot. One more thing. Elder Ramar, I'd like to thank you for the pair. Where are they? The pair of Hebrew shoes. Israel is getting it on, folks. I know the light is bright here. Israel is getting it on. Elder Ramar, that's over Texas, sent some Hebrew shoes. Ain't that something? Look at these things, right? And guess what? They're very comfortable. They're more comfortable than the Skechers I purchased. On the side, Revelation 22, verse 16. The root of David fitness. The root of David fitness. Israel is doing it. Thank you, Ramar. And thank you for what you've sent out. And that's how they look. I know, it's blinding in the lights here, but they're very nice. The Lion of David shoes. Now we got to, yeah, I see that lion there. Oh yeah, these things are hot. Thank you. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to start letting people know that he has his own clothing line, his own shoe line, and all these others. Elder Ramar, you're doing it, and you're doing it well, sir. And let me put this out there if I can see it real quick. The name of the company is the Root of David Fitness. The website is of David, rootofdavid.fitness. Okay, the website is rootofdavid.fitness. Okay, it should be operational by the end of July, beginning in August. So you'll be hearing about this, the Root of David, the Root of David Fitness website, where you'll be able to get your fitness gear, shoes, whatever the case is. Israel, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Now, I'm about to jump right in. I would like to say this real quick. Pastor Dow, I think he did a video responding to Elder Ricard, who I just gave a few words of, I would say, encouragement or wisdom when it came to this bogus so-called raid against Straightway that happened in Indiana. Okay, I would never cast any negative aspersions against the brother. I know how hard it is to have a task of guiding and shepherding so many people he's responsible for. And I believe his faith and what the Most High have called him to do for these people who he's shepherding is unwavering. Okay? And let me put that out there, okay? Now, I know he responded back and said that he don't got the spirit of fear, whatever the case is, but I didn't, no one has a spirit of fear. We should fear the Most High only, okay? But I just put it out there because I understand how the media does so many things to demonize. And really, to some degree, I wouldn't give them a layup. I wouldn't do anything that can add to I would say, a narrative that they could shape negatively, even though they're trying to do it anyway through their so-called demonic Jesuit apologetic page that we all know are a bunch of operatives, okay? So again, I stand in full love and I pray for the brother and those that the brother is shepherding. He's still Israel. He's my people. That's my brother. Let me put that out there on record. Since he made a video responding to me, I want to make sure that he can put this out there to them too. I was just showing some examples of if they can try to shape something as a compound or try to claim certain things, they'll use people who indirectly don't have anything to do with it to destroy you from the inside. And usually it happens if a child dies, a child gets sick, or a child that they can claim is abused. All right. So that's what I put out there. Listen, so to move away from all of the conversation online, what I did was, for the sake of my care for the brother, I called Straightway when I seen he put out a video. I called Straightway. I gave them my name, told them who I was, and left the phone number and said, listen, have Pastor Dow call me, right? Because I want him to know. Listen, I understand what it takes to move a great work and how hard it is and how much is on the shoulders of shepherds. And that is to be commended or respected. And guess what? Since I left my phone number there, if he sees something that can help me, right, and can help maneuver so that I'm protected, I'll be open to hear that because he's my brother. And these are the open channels that must be open regardless of whether or not we're separated right now through doctrinal lines or whatever the case might be, but we're all the children of Israel. So eventually dialogues will need to happen anyway because they're planning to come against all of us, right? So all in all, when I put something out, it's not to disparage or harm what the brother has established as a work, okay? It was some words to the wise. If he could take it and add to what he's doing, then it's good. If not, he've done well without my input. Okay? So again, though, but if he did have some advice for me, I would listen. I would listen. So I'm not into this, let me make a video here and make a video there. I called straightway, left my name and my phone number and said, please have Pastor Dow reach out to me. All right? And that's the way men are supposed to operate in the Most High. Okay? I put it out there, and I stated why I put it out there. Okay? Because many people were trying to ask my opinion. And guess what? Usually when people send stuff, they're expecting me to use something to drill down against a brother. That's divide and conquer. I would never do that. They tried to do that when the sister passed over there in London and try to connect IUIC with that. And you know what I did publicly? I defended them. And you know why I defended them? Because people die regardless of what religion they are a part of. I don't see every time a Christian person die, that they promote it all over the news as if something is wrong with that person who went to church or the church that sister or brother joined. People from the Christian church kill each other and they die. There's abuse. There's all types of stuff. And nobody ever attached the religion that they're following to the action. Only when it's us or Hebrews, anything negative, we can't even have a hangnail without them claiming it's because we are a part of something different. Okay? So I wanted to put that out there real quick to clear the air so that there's no question going forward of where we stand when certain advice is being put out there for people we care for. Okay, there is no competition between groups. That's ridiculous. That's childish. There is no competition. The souls that are entrusted under Pastor Dowd to shepherd is his responsibility, and he's accountable to the Most High for it. So is myself, and so is anyone else who've been called to do this. Because I'm going to tell you, no one that was called to do this actually thought that this is what we would be doing. So I know how tough it is. I know the road is tough. All right. So I want to put that out there. So that's how men operate. So I didn't want to make back and forth because too many things can get confused, twisted in between. And that's why I put it out there. And I'm glad he did show his congregation what I said, because I would never disrespect them. But I know what they did with Move members. I know what they did with Waco, Texas. They have always set the stage to demonize using someone getting hurt or showing somebody with guns and stuff around them, or whatever the case is. That's how they create a storyboard of demonization. And that was just my only concern. And my concern is not that the brother's doing anything wrong, is that I can state certain things that he can probably add to protect himself. Okay? And guess what? That's what brothers are about. It's about caring for your brother. Because sometimes you be all up in doing things, brothers and sisters, and you don't even realize, hey, there's certain things that, that I can fix, that I can do better, and other people can see it and add that to, add that to the mix. Okay? So I wanted to put that out there real quick. I don't have anything against the brother. I respect the brother's work, and I'll leave it there. Okay? Now, let's jump right in. Okay, and again, I don't believe that he has a compound, but that's how the media frames things. I don't care what we call it, they're going to call it a compound. All right? Now, Elder Lawyer, you're there.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there you go. Elder lawyer in the house. All right. Let's see if I got my hand claps here.
Shalom, shalom.
Let me do this. Hold on. Let me see if I can add something here. Hold on. 1 second, lawyer.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to do something with the audio here for you. All right, properties. All right, I guess I'll keep that till later because sometimes I don't know how he did this thing where you're working, but I'll leave it there. Anyway, elder lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Real quick. 1 second. Oh, that's why. That's why. Hold on. Audio input capture. Okay. One second here. All right. One second, y'all. Because they said there was no claps there. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there right now. Oh, there it is. Let me see if it'll work now. Still don't work. Well, for some reason, this thing ain't working, but I'm going to leave it there, lawyer.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
All right, real quick. There's a lot of things going on with the Trump scenario. A lot of things going on. And it seems as if his particular event has really captured all media attention. All media attention is now on Donald Trump, the shooting, the election, and all these others. Now, what I'm going to say real quick is when it comes to the politics of this, when it comes to strictly the politics, what I've noticed with people, it have heightened the conversation running into an election season. 1 week we're talking about Biden's cognitive deficiencies. And then that dies down. And then the whole world is talking about Trump getting shot. Now, regardless of the circumstances, the election is continually at the forefront of everyone's psyche from 1 week to the next.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
Yes, sir.
So whether it's Democrat or Republican, it's staying on the psyche. And usually, elder lawyer, when these stories, when we see an event as big as this particular event, the Trump shooting, usually there's news uncovered. There's news that's actually being glossed over that the majority of the world should be taken notice to. So the question is, and I'm going to pose it out there for everyone real quick. Y'all see the title? What was going on while the world was watching Trump? What was going on? Now, mind you, out of this, elder lawyer, reports have been sent to me. You know, I follow the news prophetically to understand where all this is going. And they've already tied this, not this, but a separate threat, which is an attack against Trump on Iran, claiming that there were intelligence well in advance. Sort of sound like, elder lawyer, what we heard running up to the Iraqi war. When we were hearing that, well, the Pentagon did had reports that was given to George Bush that an attack using airplanes was possible. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, when these stories run, there's always a subplot if people are actually looking. The subplot is because he has sympathy on his side, that can be utilized as a vehicle to carry any agenda, any agenda that the elite would like to happen. When you have a wave of, I would say, support, you can use that as a vehicle to drive anything politically. During the last election, what did they have? George Floyd. See? They had George Floyd. And they could use George Floyd from the left to drive anything they were trying to push politically. Look at what I'm showing you here. It's the same thing, but from the right this side, this time. Everyone is fed up with the satanic evil from the left, so now they're going to roll it on the right using a different event. All eyeballs are on Trump. So whatever, now that he has the sentiments and the sympathy of the world, he can do no wrong. So anything politically they would like to put on this machine, it will be, and it can be, without opposition. And this is how it works. We went from George Floyd, and since everyone was looking at CNN, they just threw COVID was right there. Soon as George Floyd died down, everyone was people were already looking at CNN and all these other news programs trying to find out what's up with the riots and all these things. And while everyone was looking, right on that machine, COVID was placed on it. While everyone was looking, it shifted from the riots to COVID. See, I continually, elder lawyer, view things prophetically instead of being moved through the media. Okay? Because they have dual messages. They have many manifold messages for those who can actually see it from an outside perspective. And now what I'm hearing, well, speaking of a plot, there was a plot that Iran wanted Trump assassinated, tying all these things leading up to a war, an eventual war. Same thing over and over again. Now, elder lawyer, on your screen, on our screen right here. While they were looking the other way, what's going on? You can't find these stories or these heinous news coverages anywhere. Israeli forces dropped 2,000-pound bombs on Gaza safe zone, killing 90. Folks, that just happened. That just happened on a safe zone. Now, if there was no shooting last week, this weekend, here are the stories that would lead in the press. These stories would lead in the press if people weren't talking about the shooting. There's a lot of negative sentiments going against Israel based on them clearing out Gaza, seeking to do what? Seeking to renovate and move all these people out and make a lot of this their own paradise. High real estate. No one is talking about it. At least one of the 8 2,000-pound bombs used in the massacre was made in the United States. Who's talking about this? No one. No one. More. Al Jazeera. Israel bombs 6th UN-run school, United Nation-run school, in Gaza in 10 days. Killed dozens. Israeli forces, let me show you here. Israeli forces attack Al-Rizi school. This is children, folks. As well as safe zone in an Al-Mawazi, killing at least 42 Palestinians. A whole nother story. Folks, that happened yesterday. You heard about that? A matter of fact, this happened the day before yesterday and was reported today. Heard anything about this? So I'm going to show you how the left and right works together. Don't be fooled. This have nothing to do with. There's a lot of people out there questioning, well, what's up with the shooting? They want you to talk about the shooting, even if you're questioning the shooting. Why? Because you'll ignore what's really going on in the earth. You'll never hear these stories. Running almost 24 hours a day, whether it be MSNBC, CNN, I've looked all through United States news. And folks, it's Trump all day, all night. Why are you looking the other way? Now, Elder Lawyer, the Bible states what? When the righteous is in authority. Matter of fact, let's get that scripture real quick, if you will, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Proverbs 29, verse number 2.
Okay, hold on. Let me just turn you down just a little bit. All right, let's get it real quick. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's get it right here. 1 second. All right. Proverbs 21, you said?
29.
29. Hold on. Let me get it here. 29, verse 22.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Excuse me here.
Yes, sir.
I'm still hold on. I'm still trying to get, they just put Eastward on this computer, and it's just wild here. One moment. Proverbs 29, verse 2. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Let's read that.
Yes, sir. Proverbs 29, verse number 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
When the righteous is in authority, the people are happy. Now understand what the Most High says here. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But read.
But when the wicked beareth rule.
But when the wicked bear rule.
The people mourn.
The people are in bad case. The people mourn. And see, what I'm looking at is politicians the politics of this world are doing all these, I would say, I would say psychological gymnastics on the people to distract us from really how evil the world has become and how hard things are on all of us and on our people. It's evident that the wicked beareth rule because the people are mourning, and no one, whether it be the Republicans or the Democrats, is doing anything to heal the ills of our people. To heal the ills, right now there's killing, taking our people down in different parts of Africa. They're bombing people over there, and the Palestinians. And folks, there's a lot of our people living in Palestine that are dying who are Israelites. So who's in authority? Now I need y'all to think about this real quick, because I noticed that, Elder Lawyer, that it's funny. It's showing you the power of our people. I noticed that our people are now swaying from the Democrats to the Republicans. Right? Now, it's about, it's about joining teams, right? Which team? Oh, this team ain't doing it for us. That's true. We are really more conservative minded. We should have been more conservative minded the whole time. But you notice our people, better late than never, are now switching to the conservatives or to the team Trump. You notice this. And folks, don't be deceived by that either. Okay? Mm-hmm. Do not be deceived. Okay? All this, black people are jumping on board because they know how it is to be railroaded by the system. Come on, man. Do not be deceived. Right? We're going to jump on that team, but listen to this clearly, folks. When the Bible says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The Most High was talking about his people. We must test the temperature of everyone, not based on what's happening to them, but what they both have always done against us. The people that's talking about mourning in the earth that are suffering are the children of Israel. And either side isn't willing to do what's right by God's people. Let me talk about that, because now all the sympathy goes on Trump. But what about us? Okay? Trump can get his cases thrown out. Okay, he can get asylum. He can get immunity. So for us to look at this and claim that, okay, I can relate to him, we're falling for it again. But instead of it being George Floyd, because they've used up all the white cops against black people cards they could use, now they're going to use Trump as the martyr we can cleave to, claiming that his circumstances are related to what we have suffered. And you know what? That's an insult. That's an insult for them to think that that's all they need to do to garner some level of support and admiration from our people when our people are in mourning. Now, here's some of the examples I'm going to talk about today. That's right, Elder Dell. They're not like us. I'm going to talk about this tonight. Folks, Elder, your lawyer, you know, while they doing one thing, I'm always looking the other way. Okay? Now, I know some people out there were saying, well, Elder, you always been coming down hard on Democrats and calling them demo nuts and demon nuts and Democrats. We thought you would be behind what Trump is dealing with. No, what I said was, how long are we going to go and participate with the party that we've followed for over decades and supported 80 to 90% for decades? And now that what? The die is cast, it's clear this party was set up to actually eradicate and destroy black people who believe in Christ. Okay, these people are anti-Bible. They're trying to transition our children. They have stolen civil rights and given it to the letter people. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm for Trump. But the greatest problem we have is the fact that we've aligned ourselves with the party that have destroyed us. So I couldn't point to the Republicans because we don't vote Republican. So any destruction that happened within our communities was by the party we as a people support at the clip of 80 to 90%. And why am I talking about politics in the midst of what we're talking about when it comes to the Bible? Folks, it have always been political. It's about keeping the children of Israel down and using politics to do it. Using politics to do it. I'm going to bring you back in 1 second, lawyer, because I want to say this real quick. Using politics. Folks, within 4 years, I'm going to drop this on y'all. Within 4 years, they have overrun the United States with over 10 million illegals. What they call illegals. And I'm talking about those who didn't have to go through the normal process to become citizens. Brothers, sisters, we've traveled all over the earth. You go to another country and try to just go in without the proper process. For us, you better have a bank account with a certain amount of money, a certain number in it. You better have, I know what they try to ask you for, especially if you look like us. You have to show your assets. You have to show tax returns. You got to show you're able to make income while you're there. And that's just if you're going to apply for citizenship. They're going to ask you how much you got in the bank. You have to show them bank statements. Over 10 million people from all over the world have been pressed upon our people. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Folks, social warfare. And I know Trump is talking about, I'm going to close the border. That's why you can't you can't think of either side like that. Listen to what I'm telling you, folks. I'm going to close the border. Folks, I looked into the companies. The companies that have purchased food companies or have invested in companies like Tyson and these other companies. These tech companies that now are in the United States now. Folks, a lot of these companies are owned by foreign entities. They're not even owned by Americans or on American soil. So what does this mean? If East Indians, Asians, and other people came together and brought up the majority of companies that will employ Americans, how will they make their profit? So they let their people come in first. They let their people come in first. This was a corporate rollout to cut our people, not just black people, but even Americans that are on the outside of us, out of the workforce. This is how you destroy a country inside out. So if they set up their companies, they purchase the companies on American soil. These are businessmen. And guess who know about these businessmen? Donald Trump. Okay, so don't think that he's going to get in and stop some illegals. Not 10 million people. That's a workforce. That's a workforce. So they came in, purchased companies, and allowed, through international agreements under the Biden administration, agreed to allow a certain amount of people in the United States as long as these people don't press upon the white society in the suburbs and others. That was the agreement. Take over the territory where those blacks are killing each other. That's the conversation they're having. We don't have to worry about dealing with their retirements and all these. You bring your people over, we'll pay your people pennies on the dollar compared to what we'll pay Americans. And then eventually these people will be pushed out of the way, snuffed out of the way slowly. And then on top of that, folks, how do they get rid of us? Diagnosis. We have a lot of brothers and sisters who they're taking stuff and like, man, what's up with this stuff I'm taking or these diagnoses I'm getting? And now all of a sudden, dirt naps. Folks, this is why the people are mourning. It's war. It's war. And Elder Lawyer, let me bring in Elder Lawyer now.
Yes, sir.
This is the whole thing, man. And what stood out, Elder Lawyer, to have me go into this is when we were actually, believe it or not, breaking down the seals in the book of Revelation and the 7 trumps, right? This last Sunday. And it's one thing that resonated with me when you brought it out, Elder Lawyer, is that all of this is for amendment. It's for amendment. A lot of people out there will, well, Trump is wrong and Biden is wrong. What choices do we have? God.
That's right.
And the Most High wouldn't have it any other way. He's doing it for amendment to show you we can't trust either of these people. And our saving grace is to come under the hedge because he's allowing them, believe it or not, folks, he's allowing the Democrats and the Republicans to actually off one another, to cross each other out. I'm going to tell you. But who's in the middle of all of this? We are. We are. Now, let's go to the next level of this, politics. From a politic angle. What does it mean where he's allowing them to cross each other out? Well, It so happens, and I was discussing this earlier today, Elder Lawyer, there's certain programs in place. People's livelihood depends on certain finances being funneled through their programs, their social programs, or their businesses that are established with tax breaks and all that based on their political affiliations. So this is why the Democrats are going crazy, because if the Republicans come in, they will now have control over the money distribution and be able to cut out certain programs that a lot of people depended on. They're talking about cutting off money from the LGBTQ civil rights. And I'm going to tell you that that's really one of the biggest issues that's on the left right now. It don't have anything to do with us. The fact that they're looking to attack the civil rights from the LGBTQ, what they call the gay community, stating in a lot of their records and a lot of what you see when it comes to Agenda 25, stating that they've gone too far when they begin to help transition children or coercing children to do certain things without parental consent. That when they started moving this stuff towards the children, it went too far. And a lot of legislation is being pushed where they're seeking to take that civil rights money, because civil rights was supposed to be for our people anyway. So that's the infighting politically, where they're canceling out each other, because LGBTQ or the gay people, they've waited thousands of years to hold the political, to have the political strength they have in the United States right now, and they will go out dying before releasing these funds. Okay? They are the people of civil rights, not us. Barack Obama successfully gave all of the civil rights that belong to our people to them. It's over. It's over. So what can we do? While everybody's looking at Trump, war is ensuing. They're seeking to eventually go against. They're seeding. They're peppering the population with all of these. They're insinuating, that there's undertones of going against Iran. Going against Iran. And Trump is right in there with it. Listen to what I'm saying, folks. So the next thing is to go to war and to move our people into a war to finish what COVID, migrants, and everything else couldn't finish off. And it's for an amendment. The Most High is saying, if you trust in these two, if you trust in the powers and the strength of this world, then you get what they're giving. And the only saving grace is to protect yourself from what's to come. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying. We're not going to be helped by the Republicans or the Democrats. Let's get that 4th Amendment real quick, Elder Lawyer, what we went over last week, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second.
All right, we're going to 2nd Ezra 16.
2nd Ezra 16. Now, we went over some of this in the academy. So, folks, y'all definitely need to be in this next academy, folks. 2nd Ezra 16, let's read it.
Yep, I'm pulling up the Apocrypha. All right, 2nd Ezra 16, and let's go to verse number 20 or verse number 19.
Okay.
2nd Ezra 16, verse number 19.
Okay, let me grab it here so they can have it. Man, did you hear that speech I gotta send it to you. I'll probably go over that next week in Patreon. On Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
That interview with Joe Biden said something went wrong, with his brain chip.
Nah, I didn't hear about that.
He intimated like something was, went wrong with his with the brain microchip. A lot of people thought that he was misspeaking or whatever the case is. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But I digress. I'm going to show that next week, right?
Yes, sir.
We're at 2nd Esdras 16.
And verse 19.
All right, thank you, Elder Lawyer. Let me pull this up. And we went over this, breaking down the 7 seals. The seals, the 6 seals and the 7 trumps in the book of Revelation. Elder Lawyer, if you can read that, please.
Yes, sir. 2nd Esdras 16, verse number 19 says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation.
Matter of fact, let's start at 18, if you will.
Yes, sir. Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
The beginnings of famine and great death. Now think about this, folks. Not only did they bring over people from their nations, these corporations purchased all of these companies in the United States in an agreement to bring all of their people over to employ them above our people. Famine. Right? Think about this, because the first thing they do is start taking resources away. Check out this game they had. At first, Elder Lawyer, when it came to child support, the mother would get the majority of the child support. That's how it was back then. And the government the government only got a small, a little slither of any money that came, but the majority of the money would go to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then they slowly started saying, well, no, it's the government paying out the money. So then they switched it up through laws where now the government has given you money. So it's almost like a loan. And when we get the money from the man, he must pay us back for giving the money to you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When our tax money and all of that went towards, really went towards these particular types of programs for the poor. It had nothing to do with you owe us because we gave it to you. It was coming out of the taxes. Right? Then next thing you know, our sisters were like, well, hold up. We're getting less money, even though we're taking them to court and all that, but our money's drying up. And now, Elder Lawyer, here's a new plan. Well, you're going to have to work for welfare under the next administration. How do you meticulously, Elder Lawyer, put a people back in slavery again without telling them it's slavery?
Right.
Under slavery, they took care of what? They took care of the slave quarters, a little health care to keep you going. But in exchange for that, you had to work the fields. And really, you would have nothing that can parlay into savings for generational wealth to free yourself. So think about the prison complex under Biden before, where he got a lot of our men put in prison. But now they're swinging a pendulum to our sisters and saying, well, okay, you're in the workforce anyway. So under the Republicans, they got a new plan to say, yeah, you can get the money, but you're going to have to work to get the money. Now, and with that work, you can only make but so much, Elder Lawyer. You can only make so much to a degree in which your money gets in the way of your benefits. If you make this amount of money, you no longer qualify and you're on your own. That's keeping people impoverished.
Right.
And they're going to do this. They are going to do this. Why? For an amendment. When we read this, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers, read on, Elder Lawyer.
And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
What shall we do when these evils come?
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Is sent as scourges for amendment. See, the Most High is sending this for an amendment against those who refuse to come back. He said, hey, guess what? Here's your payment. The wages of sin is death. He's doing this for amendment. Because we refuse to come back under his order. We refuse to come back under his power, under his hedge. So he's saying, you know what? I'm going to let the enemy outright do what they want to do until you get under your Father's authority for protection. See? Outright. Until you get under your Father's protections. It says, right, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. The 20th verse, Elder Lawyer.
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
The Most High is showing you that no one in this world is for us, but yet we refuse as a people to turn from our wickedness, our evil ways. We continue to break God's law. Nor what?
Nor be always mindful of the scourges.
And we begin to ignore the affliction we're in. We go online and claim that we got it going on and everything is fine, knowing that we are suffering. Making everyone out there believe, entrepreneur, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you know you're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it means. Nor be always mindful of the scourges. The Most High want us to know, he want us to at least own our condition. See? If you don't admit you're in a condition, then how can one get themselves out of it? If you don't first live in it and admit it. I'm suffering. I'm hurting. I'm broke. I don't know what to do. That's where the Most High wants you.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to admit that the scourges and everything the governments and the world have done have placed you in what? Have placed you in a corner with no way out. Why? Because when we humble ourselves and come to him and the Most High shine that light to make a way, at that point we'll realize he was always with us. When we begin to follow God's law, we begin to come back and try to do the right things, fall on our knees for repentance and ask him to save us through these scourges. At that point, the angels kick in. But as long as we're faking the funk like everything is fine, like, okay, you don't need me. It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Read.
21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Because you can still go out and shop. Because you can still get Uber Eats and things. It seems like the economy will always be here to some degree where you'll eventually be able to find a way. But folks, we have moved into uncharted territory. Listen to me and listen to me good. The majority of our people, for years, before the influx of immigrants in the country, the majority of our people were able to find a way. We were able to hustle. We were able to work different jobs and all that and find a way and finally strike and get our family out of certain circumstance. Those opportunities will no longer be there. I'm going to tell you this right now, because I'm going to tell you, there's too many people, Elder Lawyer, that they have allowed in the country who our people will not be able to out hustle. These people come from low means and was dealing with some level of entrepreneurship, starting from begging in the streets. I'm going to tell you, we're not going to be, and on top of that, the government is going to give them a pass when it comes to zonings, permits, and all of that. There'll be no restrictions on these other people getting businesses, folks, without any red tape. And when our people try to get a truck, our people try to do something, we're going to have to go through all of these hurdles and jump all these hurdles just to be approved, while these people are just running circles around us business-wise. I'm going to tell you, that's where it's going. And it started when we allowed them to come into our inner cities as Muslims and all that, set up all halal communities and all of this, learning the political game right up under our noses to undermine us. And now it's over. We thought they could never leapfrog us. The so-called Muslims coming over, setting up little shops and all that around us. Now look. Now look. I'm going to tell you where it's going. It's going to homelessness, high-level begging on the next level, and I'm going to tell you, it's a shame, it's going to go to, I'm going to tell you, it's already there probably, the exchange of sexual favors to survive. So how do we get out of this? Let's go. Let's talk about it. Because everybody talking about Trump, but what no one is talking about, and guess what? I feel it's an insult if he's standing up there and say, man, black people, man, they're supporting Trump because they can relate to the government railroading them. They can relate having charges being put on them. That's no different than when I used to hear gay people say that we should be able to relate to them because of what we went through in slavery. That was an insult, and what they're trying to do with this politically is an insult. How dare you try to compare your upbringing and what you had to go through, dealing with another sexual orientation, and try to compare that to slavery? How dare you? But our people allowed it. We've been so gullible, ready to accept the enemy that comes through like a Trojan horse. I mean, we had the only thing Bill Clinton had to do was put on a pair of sunglasses and play a little saxophone, barely understanding how to play it. If you listen to him play it, he's playing the same notes over and over again. to be pronounced in our neighborhoods as the first black president. And with Arkansas, Bill Clinton came what? We seen all the drugs, the crack thing, all of that came into our communities between Ronald Reagan and Arkansas, Bill Clinton. That was going on, decimating our community. And guess what? Bill Clinton, what did he do? He was the one who signed the NAFTA agreement that would outsource the jobs that our people needed. Outsourcing the jobs to India and China and other parts of the world under the NAFTA agreement. Who did this? Bill Clinton. So instead of us running the call floors, telemarketing and telecommunications, you started hearing Indians pick up the phone, Asians pick up the phone. Guess who did that? Bill Clinton. The whole time they were strategizing against our people to snuff us out financially. And yet we're down with him because he put on a pair of sunglasses and play the saxophone. And they know we're easily swayed emotionally. Then down the line, we had Barack Obama. Wasn't born, let me tell you, he wasn't. You notice they would never have an enslaved black American from the roots of slavery as a president. How could he relate to us being born through another country? That's another allegiance. When it came to who his family was, or who they told us his family were. And because someone had brown skin, we cleaved to that, and now any civil rights we had left went to LGBTQ, and he was the first president that would ever stand to make gay marriage legal in America. We get undermined over and over and over again. And then, let me tell you, don't you think the Most High is looking down and saying, what's wrong with my people? Can't you see they both are running a con on you? They both, and these scourges is coming from either side. Then people say, well, what's the choice? The choice is the God that said all this would happen. Either we fall through the scourges or be the remnant which make it through this, who will make it through. Because the majority of people, the majority of the world, our people first, are going to fall in these scourges. We're always trusting, cleaving to everyone else, but yet we can't find a way to come on some type of code with one another. We trust everyone else. But yet we can't even agree on anything as a people. And the Most High is saying, you know what? I'm going to break Jacob until Jacob understand that regardless of where it's coming from, I'm doing it. Let's get back to it real quick, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
For many of them that dwell upon the earth. 22.
Yes, sir. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Shall the sword destroy. Read.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
And the cities shall be cast down. And I'm going to tell y'all, folks, the LGBTQ has a stronghold. They are the gatekeepers of our community. All of the funds that are funneling in our communities, the social programs, the education, all of that is being controlled through their programs. And if someone try to get in and take that away, and that's what they're trying to do on the Republican side, folks, they'll help pull the plug on everything before they allow this stronghold to be taken from them. And that leads to, and we're already in a quasi civil war already, but people just don't understand it. They don't recognize a soft civil war. And hey, don't let this particular election have any questions. I'm going to tell you that right now. If there's any questions outside of Trump winning, this country may go into a full-scale civil war. And really, it's all for amendment. At the end of the day, when two sides are fighting against one another, or when there's any level of mayhem or destruction, the poor suffers more than the rest of the population. Let's go down where it says they shall cast you out of your houses, elder lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Verse number 70. Let me see here.
Let's read it.
All right. Verse number 68.
Verse number 68. Second Esdras, out of your apocrypha, brothers and sisters. Let's read it.
Yes, sir.
For behold,
Second Esdras 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
With things offered unto idols. This is your merchants coming into your cities, serving you all this food they sacrifice to the gods. They have nothing but pagans coming into our cities, feeding us food sacrificed to Buddha and others. Read it.
69.
Halal meat. And they what?
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach.
Come on.
And trodden underfoot.
And trodden underfoot like we were in 70 AD. The real plan is to get rid of us. And there's a long line of people that's suffering in these so-called third world countries, and they were made to suffer, who are standing in line to replace us. And that's what they're being told in the countries that are sending, on the countries they were sent from. They're being told exactly what neighborhoods they're going to go into, what to do to get our people out of the way, all of that. All of that. And we're not just being pressed here, elder lawyer. The creator of Blackwater, the black mercenary company that was under Halliburton during the time of the Iraq War, he resurfaced. He had a quote, elder lawyer. He said, well, listen, and not only that, he's resurfacing under Trump. He says, no longer should we go for being overrun by other people. It's time to bring back imperialism. So what does that mean? And then he started speaking specifically about Africa. That these people don't have the common sense to govern themselves. This is what they're saying about us. They don't have the power to govern themselves. The only thing they understand is to be ruled through imperialism. Now, people can try to say, oh, that's racist, that's wrong, but when are we going to prove them wrong? When are we going to prove that we don't need a foot on us to do right? But that's what he's saying. They coming straight out and saying that, listen, we got to do it the old Roman way. These people still are multiplying, and we have to take them over. That's the plans for Africa. The same way they pressing us. They've been keeping Africa third world forever. And this is what it's talking about here. And it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Read.
70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
They're going to be spoiling and destroying those who fear God. These are the pagans that are coming over from these other countries. We're talking what? Muslims, those that deal with ancient Babylonian religions, those who come as Buddhists. And really their true issue is to destroy those people who believe in the Messiah, the Christ. They know Christ. They know that Christ came from the same bloodline as we. They know who we are. That's why it's saying they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying, like they're doing in our communities now, those that fear the Lord, those who believe in that Christ. Those who hold to that Bible. Folks, that's the real war. It's a spiritual war. They hate the fact that we believe in the God of the Hebrews. Why? And guess what? That incinerates them even more because we lost our history. They didn't lose our history. And they remember David and all the great kings giving their forefathers that work. When it was told that the Hebrews was crossing over the borders to come in through to get some get right, the whole nation would quake. Japheth, look at Japheth. Japheth, Asians, they couldn't stand against us. Esau couldn't stand against us. Esau was actually, they had a few people in David's army and knew that they couldn't rival us. Esau's gift is the weapons. If he didn't have the weapons, he could not rule over us. Okay. So we were given all of these nations historically that work. So now that we are staking claim to be in Israel, they're saying, oh, okay. So you know what your forefathers did against us. You know when the Most High sent armies against those who were dealing under Moloch and sacrificing their own children and eating their own babies and all that, and the Most High would send our armies to get them right. It's like, oh, so y'all know yeah, we know. They say, well, okay, well, since you know, then the war is on. The fight is on now. And they're coming against us in their minds to avenge their forefathers against when we were great. Y'all have to understand, and guess what? Whether you believe in this or not, they're going to come against you anyway. Okay? Whether you believe you Israel or not, they're going to come against you anyway because they fear you may have children who might find out. Right? For they shall waste.
For they shall waste and take away their goods.
72.
Yes, sir, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
And cast them out of their houses. Read.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
So eventually the Most High said that they would cast us out of our houses. That's what's going on right now. They call it regentrification. During COVID in Newark, you had people in the all black with the tassels walking around knocking on doors during the time where people were supposed to stay in the house, asking them, do they want to sell their house for cash? You want to sell your house for cash? People's like, well, what's going on here? And out in all of these areas, Chicago, Philadelphia, all these cities, and not only that, in Minnesota, you had hubs of immigrants and all of that that worship all these different religions, having children for years, and now they're overrunning our people. This is exactly what the Most High says, that then they shall be known. After they put you out of your house, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Because either you're going to acquiesce to the Gentiles and get destroyed anyway, or turn to the living God. Get under his hedge, knowing that vengeance is the Lord's. Allow him to fight before you. But folks, that doesn't come without order, discipline, respect, honor. It's coming. Then shall they be known who are they chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. 74, Elder Lawyer.
Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
Come on, but what?
But I will deliver you from the same.
He says, listen, you depend on me. And I'm going to tell you, folks. I'm going to tell you, folks, right now, Elder Lawyer, they don't really care about us.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson told us that. Let me tell you, if the Democrats, I'm going to put this out there from a political standpoint so that you all can understand. And see, the Bible tells us that when Christ sends us out, he says, I'll make you fishers of men. So y'all probably wonder why sometimes I speak of topics that are political or relatable when it comes to different businesses, when it comes to music business or entertainment, relatable so you can understand it. Well, I do that, brothers and sisters, so that you can understand the word on any level, from any conversation. I do it because it's the conversation everyone is talking about at the time. And why don't I put some truth out there on the conversation? So you have to be able to condescend to the lowest level, no matter what the conversation, to actually do what? Break through. Because people are, they're programmed under these different systems. So you have to be able to go into those systems and pull them out and have them see these systems for what they are. And that's why I use everyone's CNN, inundating MSNBC, everybody talking about the election. Guess what? I'm going to be up on it, but I'm going to show the Most High in it so that we aren't deceived from either side. Because if the Democrats really had respect for the only constituency who have placed gays in position, other races of people who have nothing to do with us in position, called people of color. It was our people, the tribe of Judah, who put them in political position to actually, and through that position, they acquired generational wealth. Look at what Obama was worth before he was president, and Google what he's worth now. So that means we gave all these people money, status. If the Democrats was really down with our people, surviving on their last leg with Biden right now, folks, they could save their election. If they really, they could say this how little they care about us. I'm going to show you how little they care about our people. They'll lose without our people's support. Democrats, they know that. But they won't go before our people and say, you know what? No black or brown people, tribe of Judah, the black descendants of slaves, the people who built this country. we're willing to give you reparations, finances on the line, on the same line as what we've done to support the Jews in the Holocaust. On the same line recently of what we did to support the Ukrainians. Without you, the Democrats don't exist. So to keep our position, we're willing to guarantee you all of this before the election. See, and that's how little they care about us, folks. That they're willing to lose before doing anything for God's people. And see, I like to give you those examples so you can see both of these parties for what they really are. Taskmasters. See? And Elder Lloyd, you see that guy, there was a teacher that was teaching from some Sefer platform who said that he said that blacks are from the tribe of Judah. You heard that?
No, sir.
Man, they are, I'm going to tell you, they are, let me see if I can pull this up. They coming out with it now, Elder Lawyer. Let me see here. Where is that? Let me see if I can find it. I saved it. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Woke TV. Let me see. 1 second. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here, the lawyer, real quick. If not, I'll probably show it later. Hold on. See if I can find it here. I think the brother, I forgot the brother. He says he's a professor. He's from Woke TV or something like that. I forgot the name of his channel, but he had that particular pastor on, who said that America is going through what it's going through based on what it has done against the tribe of Judah. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, it was Freddie Price Jr. Thank you. That's his name. No, we're talking. This was a white guy. That's his name, Freddie Price Jr. Let me see if I saved it, I think. Let's see. Well, I can find it in between as I go through this. I don't want to get too far off the beaten path. But I'm going to get it before the broadcast is done, There's a few things I want to show, some testimonies also. But Elder Lawyer, let's pick it up from where we were. Yeah, folks, I'm going to tell you, white pastors and all that are coming out and saying, well, listen, America is going through what it's going through because of what they've done against the tribe of Judah. They're saying it now. They're not even saying Negroes, black. It says, nah, blacks from the slave ships in America are from the tribe of Judah. They're saying it now. It can no longer be hid. Okay? It can no longer be hid. So again, if they were really down with us, to show you how little they feel about us, folks, the Democrats would come and say, listen, we're going to do something specifically for these people who built this country, God's people, on the lines of what we gave the Jews for the Holocaust and the Ukrainians. Right now, you can call it reparations, anything you want. You think they're going to do that, folks? You think they'll ever do that for our people? Right? Well, let's go back to it real quick, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Where it says, be not afraid.
Yes, sir. Verse 75. Be ye not afraid.
Be ye not afraid. Read.
Neither doubt.
Neither doubt.
For the Most High is your guide.
For the Most High is your guide. The Most High is your guide. Through the Holy Spirit, folks, He has been guiding us. When it comes to the teachings, when it comes to spreading the gospel, He's been guiding us. And I know some people would like to say, well, what's the full plan? Let me tell you, the Holy Spirit go where it listeth. The plan is to get on code with the Most High and each other, to be guided in the Spirit together. That's the plan. Okay? It says, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Do we truly believe? Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. See? For God is your guide. Don't let anyone scare you. Don't ever do anything out of fear. Fear is what Satan uses to put us under subjection. Fear God and God alone. So when it says here, hold on. Oh, thank you. Oh, man, let me tell you. Dell, you right on point, young man. You are right on point. I think I found it, Elder Lawyer. Let me see if I can grab it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. Yeah, the brother sent it to me. I appreciate it. All right. Hold on. Allow.
Eugenics.
Yep. Yep. Let me see. Yeah, y'all can hear it? Let me hear it.
Was a movement.
Oh, yeah, I have it. 1 second. I don't know if you can hear this, Elder Lawyer. I'm going to see if I can bring it up here. I'm going to come back to that in one moment. Thank you, Elder Dell, for that. I'm like, whoa. They're not hiding it at all anymore. They're just outright telling the truth about it. Dr. Stephen Pidgeon, the CEO of the Sefer Publishing Group. And shout out to the brother from We Woke Now. He's a strong brother. Brother study strong too, I can tell. But let's hear this real quick. Hold on. Let me play it real quick. Dr. Stephen Pigeon. Fair use for educational purposes only.
But those seeds will not, you can't plant those seeds and grow another crop from them next year. It won't happen. Because they're hybrids. They're without seed. Now, I want you to think about how many people
Fair use.
may be these hybrid people from these watchers who are gathering afterward, who are gathering right now. Remember that a third of heaven fell with Hasatan, but only 200 came to earth. You can't tell me that there's only 600 angels in heaven when Scripture describes an innumerable multitude.
Well, I can correct him there because he believed that the original fallen was only 200, but he don't realize there were two separate falls. There was the fall in the beginning when 1/3 of the angels came, which are the old gods. And during the time of Jared and Enoch, there was a second fallen led by Azazel, two separate falls. So let me correct that. He think that the fallen angels in Deuteronomy 6 were the ones who fell in the beginning. No, there was two separate falls.
But a third of those angels fell. Only 200 of them are chained on earth.
Fair
the
use.
Original fallen watchers. And so you have this continual interface of these dimensional creatures crossing in, becoming donors for these children, and then producing hybrid children who cannot breed.
And you know what? I'm going to have to do a breakdown on his particular video separate from the clip, brothers, because what he's saying is true. What you see with abortions and stem cells and all these others, why they really want to actually deal with this reproductive thing to get these cells from these people, from women, folks, it's to produce something. As in the days of Noah. This is why Roe v. versus Wade and all that, and they're saying women should be able to get rid of their children before term and all these things. Right? Listen to this here. But he's right about this. He's right.
Now, many of these hybrid children who cannot breed, when you look at the situation, if you go back to 1960, most of the people in this country, most of the people in the world were married and had children. They were married and they had children. But now if you're creating and you're populating the world with a specific breed of hybrid that is incapable of breeding, the hybrid is incapable of breeding. So you have to disguise this hybrid such that it does not appear inordinate. Well, one way you can do that is to push forward the LGBT movement, where you have an understanding from most of the population that same-sex couples are not going to be having children naturally. They have to have children some other way. They either have to adopt or they have to have in vitro fertilization. And otherwise, they're not having children. That is the expectation among same-sex couples. All right. So into that, you can push in these hybrids who aren't going to have any children. And you can claim whatever, but now there's no expectation that every person is going to be married and have children. And the hybrid can carefully disguise themselves. Now, in addition to that, we see that the Baphomet is a bispecies, bigendered creature. That is to say, male and female human and goat, right? So because of that, what you're seeing now is you're seeing a lot of people, and I think these are people who were part of this hybrid crop, this donor crop that has been, the seed has been given over to Molech or Molechot or Molekim, and that because the seed has been given over or taken over, one of the two, given over or taken over, that you're producing, that they are producing people who cannot have children, and many of those people become transgendered, where women become men or men become women. Part of this transgendered push, and this is not to slander people who are voluntarily becoming transgendered, but I'm talking about people who have been doing this surreptitiously for years as part of a worship system of Baphomet, okay? It's not just a sexual predilection for some of these people, but rather a worship system to worship the Baphomet by doing these transsexual things. I'm not saying that all transgendered individuals follow the Baphomet or that that is their impetus, but I believe that there is a percentage that do, and that their reason for doing it is to pay homage to the Baphomet. And some of this comes out of longtime families that are doing this. Some of this comes out of longtime bloodlines that are doing this. And, you know, so you're seeing some very interesting stuff that's happening. Now, suppose, for instance,
fair use,
a lot of this transgendered line of people are...
Okay, let me go straight to 846. 846. He's dropping a lot of truth there, though, believe it or not. Right here, y'all.
Got royalty inside my DNA, inside my DNA, inside my DNA. My DNA not for imitation, or DNA an abomination, or DNA an abomination, or DNA an abomination.
Eugenics was a movement that was born in the United States under hard doctrines of racism with the intent of eliminating the tribe of Judah.
Eliminating who? That eugenics were created to eliminate who?
It was born in the United States under hard doctrines of racism with the intent of eliminating the tribe of Judah in the African-American community in this country, right? To eliminate them. That's why she formed Planned Parenthood, was specifically to kill African-American, Black Americans. That's why she did it.
Buzzing.
Look at that, elder lawyer. He came straight out and said that Margaret Sanger came up with eugenics to kill the Black Americans or the tribe of Judah. It can no longer be hid. It's everything the Most High said. He says at the very end, the Gentiles will come from the ends of the earth and state, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Boy, it's a good time to be living. A good time to be living. Well, I'm about to open up the calls real quick. We must stand under the power of God, follow the commandments, and understand while they have you looking at Trump, folks, all of this is theater. They don't care how you feel about it as long as you're under the vibration of it. You got everybody talking about Trump shooting, everybody talking about that. Listen, you have to look at the laws that are getting passed. I said it the other day, Sunday. There's a hearing coming up in PA, in Pennsylvania, for more strict gun laws. Gun control. What better way to pass something than to have something happen from the conservative side, who normally, typically, backs the carrying of guns for protection. All of a sudden, there's a hearing coming up conveniently on gun control in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is really the Texas of the East Coast. That's all I can say on that. But look beyond the theater. Usually they have you looking one way intentionally while they're doing something else over here. Elder Lawyer, you have anything to say before I open things up here?
No, sir. Let's go straight to the calls.
All right. We'll be right back with the calls. Before that, I would like to hear a few testimonies. We have some clips from a few people who have attended the academy. So I want y'all to hear this. One moment. I'll be right back. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book. And the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. All right, blessed brothers and sisters. All right, I'm going to open up the line real quick. 515-605-9327. Put it up right now. 515-605-9327. The Bible tell you that Israel is like are like sheep led to the slaughter. If you know anything about sheep, I mean, they'll follow a wolf into the woods. Like sheep. First it was the Democrats deceiving us. Now it's the Republican side deceiving us. And either of them are doing nothing for our people. Either of them. All right, let me open this up. All right. 515-605-9327 for those. And again, I'll be in Vegas tomorrow. And we're now in open enrollments for the Hebrew and Bible Academy, which starts August 4th. Okay, please go to historytimes.org. I'm going to let y'all know what to look forward to in a couple of minutes for the Academy. Okay, the calls are now open. I mean, the phone is now open. 515-605-9327. But real quick, there's a few testimonies I wanted you all to hear. All right, that's out of here. Real quick. Let me know when you're back, Elder Lawyer. All right. Get this one here. And again, while everyone was looking at the event, bombs were getting dropped on the Palestinians. All right. Bombs were getting dropped on the Palestinians, right? There it is for you right there. Bombs are getting dropped on the Palestinians. And guess what? The news isn't reporting any of this. Children getting killed, schools getting bombed, and all of that. Raza school. And right now, everyone is 24 hours. Okay, that's interesting. He said, isn't that something? Blog Talk isn't working right now. Let me hear. Let me hear about that. 1 second. Isn't that something? Let's see. Blog Talk all of a sudden isn't working. Let me see something. Hold on, let me see. One second. This is incredible. All right. There's more than one way to do this. Okay, so right now, all of a sudden, Blog Talk isn't working, even though we're paying. All right, it's not working. Okay. I'll try another way. Hold on. Let's see if we can do Zoom. Let's try Zoom. And again, we'll be in Las Vegas. I'll be flying in tomorrow. I'll probably be resting Thursday, but Friday, baptism. Saturday, we're going to have an all-white event after the Sabbath service in Las Vegas tomorrow. All right. So let's see. Sign in. I'll try to do Zoom here. Okay, join Zoom. One second, folks. I'm going to open up Zoom for those who would like to be a part of it. Launch meeting. Okay. Join audio with computer. Okay. Allow. All right, folks. All right. I found a way to do it. All right, here's the Zoom link for those who would like to come in. All praises. Obviously, Blog Talk says no. I wonder why. But, you know, it's all good. Hold on, folks. For some reason, all right, that's weird. All right, 1 second, folks. Let me try it this way. All right, I'll do it that way. Copy link. Okay, that's the link for those who would like to jump in real quick. If you like to jump in for, brothers and sisters, jump in for the Zoom. The link is right there before you. In the meantime, let's hear a few of our testimonies that I have queued up here. Sister Candace, for the first time, was a part of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And she came in after the full 3 months with a testimony. I said, you know what? I think the people need to hear this.
First Academy. My sister is in the DMV area and she recommended this to me. So it really brought a lot of insight to me. I really realized that everything that I learned growing up in a traditional Christian church, that I didn't learn the correct stuff, that I wasn't learning the true gospel of Christ. And so it's really made me realize that I need to get rebaptized because I was baptized under the wrong doctrine. And so
all praises.
I am in North Carolina, and the closest body to me here is about 2.5 hours away. So me and my husband are going to make the trip so that we can get rebaptized, because we were both baptized under the Christian church.
Oh, so praises.
Need to get rebaptized.
Oh, that is amazing. All praises be to the Most High. Hey, congratulations.
No, I just want to thank you so much. And I've already signed up for the next Academy lesson, so I can't wait. I cannot wait for that to start on August the 4th. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And like I told the sister before you, never let that light go out. Keep your light shining, endure. And hey, sister, you and your husband, we're in the home stretch of this. And I say it all the time. It'd be a shame to get this close to a point where the prophets long to see and not cross the finish line.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Right? Well, thank you for being a part of the Academy. Let others know, because sometimes you don't know what to expect until you actually participate in it.
That's true. In the beginning, it was, fighting with that, what I had been taught, growing up from a child. And so having to relearn and reprogram my mind to the truth and to overcome what I had always been taught. Like, I think the hardest hurdle for me to overcome was throwing out the doctrine of the virgin birth. And I think it was
I know that's tough.
9 or week 10 was whenever I really got the revelation, and it really clicked for me, because you were going over some scriptures where it was talking about the seed, and it was like at the same time you were teaching, just this light just went on for me, and it just like I really got it, and I was like, I understand it now. I totally get it and understand it, and I had read those passages of scripture myself several times, but it had never clicked for me that way before, like it did that day.
Well, sister, I'm going to tell you, that was one of the biggest hurdles I had to cross, actually, when I began to learn. That was one, because don't forget, that's one of the first, even before we know the Bible, these are some of the first stories we read in Sunday school.
Yes.
And not only did I learn in Sunday school, as I grew on the choir and all that, going into near teenager, I began to teach Sunday school while in the Baptist church. So the literature that they gave us, it instilled that thing where Christ is a son of God, basically because he's not born with a physical father. And this is what makes him different. And they instill that before we have an opportunity to actually know the Bible. So believe it or not, sister, the same stronghold you had to overcome, I had to. And I'm going to tell you, it's a serious spell. And it's high-level evil that comes with that indoctrination of worshiping the Queen Mother of Heaven. It's another Christ that we're learning about. We're learning actually of Nimrod, Semiramis.
Yeah, that Soli Victus lesson that you taught like that.
Yeah.
Again, that it just I felt like the final scales and the final veil was being pulled off my eyes for that lesson. And so now everything, you know, in this world system, I look at everything completely different. Everything has a different view for me now, and I look at everything completely different. Even the way I interact with people in conversations, I just look at people completely different. I look at everything different. You know, I question, you know, everything. Definitely question everything that I've always been taught. You know, even for years, like certain stuff that I would see, I would always question it. Like, well, I said, you know, I may not be living the life that I should be living, but even I know that this is prophecy being fulfilled. So why don't they ever say that whenever they're reporting these stories on the news?
Sister, when the last many testimonies where brothers and sisters have broke through and now understand the true doctrine of the Bible with that Hebrew and Bible Academy. There's nothing like it. And brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you, get in it. Get in it. All right, hold on. Let me bring the lawyer back. Many good testimonies. Yes, elder lawyer?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, good. Something happened with your internet?
Yeah, my internet dropped for a moment.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, I have you back. We're not going to be here long. I have a few people in Zoom that I'm going to bring in, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this. All right, we have a few people lined up in Zoom. I can do that before we close up tonight. I could do it that way. Browser, I'll come back to her in a moment. All right, here's the Zoom, all prepared here. All praises. All right, let's see what we have here. We have Linda Bell Owens, Kenneth Hayes, Myra Judah, Yahawadah, and Jill. Okay, let's get Linda first.
All praises. Let's see what we have here. We have Linda Bell Owen.
Speed.
Okay, Linda, please turn YouTube down, please, the volume of YouTube, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where's your video? You don't wish to be seen, Linda?
You see me now. No, I don't like to be seen, but here's my face.
Okay. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
This evening, rather. Okay, I'm doing well. Where you from?
I'm actually from Concord, North Carolina. I live here now. Yeah.
Okay, Concord. Okay, what you got for me?
Well, I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you. I really do. And just a little testimony. You know, I've done a lot of things in church. I mean, husband, everything but first lady, okay, and helped out. But I could never understand why people was doing the things they was doing in the church. Because I read the word, the Bible from front to back. And my husband, we was a big time tie. Make a long story short, when I went to that pastor and my husband wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, I realized then that it wasn't in there about the word and doing what's true. It was about money. And when I realized that, I had to let it go. But I was still seeking. I was still hurting. But one day I was on Facebook and I ran across you. And everything I wanted to know, you was able to answer. And all the questions I wanted to know, instead of hearing, oh, it's what the will of the Most High. Or when they say Most High, they say God. But now I know the true name too as well.
Praise the Most High.
So Yes. But make a long story short, tonight, and I got baptized back here in still the August, September when I went to the big water. That was nice. I went up there, and ever since I done that, um, I've seen things misclipping, like you saying about the zoning thing. That is true. I have two businesses, and I got the third one I wanted to do. And being a single divorced woman, taking care of my elderly parents and my adopted special need daughter. It's been hard. It really been hard. But however, I know that everything meant for a reason because doing this man job is not, it's me. I love to care and love. Okay. But this job about working hard and trying to do the man work, listening to you every day helps me make it through every day. You know what I'm saying? I look
Oh,
forward to
all
listening. I'll go
praises.
back and listen. I go back and look at your videos. I tell you, I go back and look all the time. But it helps me. It soothes my spirit and it gives me hope. The one thing I want to say, now, I've been married 4 times. Now, when I was married back then, I don't believe in out of wedlock kind of thing, but I didn't know who I was,
Yeah.
and I don't think they knew what they was. You don't think the look, I'm 55. You don't think the Most High? I still got a little bit in me, but you don't think I'm messed up now? I'm too old. I'm not gonna ever get married again. So I'm
Oh,
a little lonely now.
oh,
I don't
okay.
always be doing the man work job, but you
Well,
don't think I'm messed up though?
okay,
Do you?
okay, okay. Let's reel it back a little bit, right? Let's because
Okay.
I mean it's like you're peppering me with everything at once. All right. Uh, all right. Let's do it this way, right? Hold on. Let me turn this down just
Okay.
a little. All right. Number one,
Okay.
the reason why churches are off now, right? Everybody look at it and say, well, to them it's about money, but not questioning how we got here, right? Do you remember the old mom and pop small churches where we would you have the mother little or the mother and the pastor, and
Yes.
they would pass the basket, and whatever money was there wasn't much, but it was just enough, and it was
Yes.
about fire, brimstone, fear of God, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to realize how it got there. It was incremental how they were able to circumvent and destroy the church. But
Yes.
the biggest issue that came with the church is that they refuse to take a good look at God's law.
Right.
All right? There is no grace without law. So they started teaching grace to the point where the majority of the congregation forgot what we were actually receiving grace for and from. Right? So
Right.
they got away from the law. Right? That's number one. Without law, there's no fear of God, because you'll begin to believe there's no judgment. He's going to accept me any which way I am. And then after that, we were blindsided by the Jesuits with Kenneth Copeland and all these shysters like Larry, what's his name? Something Graham. I forgot his name.
Larry Graham.
Not Larry Graham.
Larry Graham.
No, Larry Graham was a singer. It was
Billy
Graham.
Billy Graham. That's right. He right here in Charlotte. That's right.
Yeah. These charlatans.
Well, he was gone.
These
Yeah.
charlatans, majority were white preachers, started influencing the black churches. They started coming in with all these false ideologies, dispensationalism, the rapture. We didn't believe all this crap. They started bringing this stuff to us. We just believed in, of course, we would break out in the Holy Ghost and all these other things and singing gospel. But, they brought all these other theological types of ideologies to the church. And then they came with the prosperity movement. The prosperity movement, Kenneth Copeland, that guy was behind that. And you had people like Creative Flow of Dollars, Creflo Dollar, and others who began to operate in that vein. And then they thought of a Walmart type of church where it's one-stop shopping. And by doing so, they began to take all of the affluent people out of the community churches. So it
Yes.
was slow how they were able to circumvent and steal the community church.
Exactly. You're right.
Right. So the whole thing is, when that started happening, it was just a matter of time before we would be where we are now. Women started running roughshod as pastors in the church. After that, gay people said, well, if women can do it and it's against God's law, we can do it too.
Exactly.
All the men left the church, and the Most High said, Judah, wake up and tell the rest of the people, I'm about to burn this place. All right.
Yes.
So, but all in all, I'm going to tell you what I don't like to say, all in all, have absolute and claim that Christ wasn't in these churches. Why? Because we were there. We were there searching for him.
Yes.
And that's all. And that's all we had access to. So he worked with us. Right. Then you had Jim Baker, Tammy Baker. She ran around looking like a clown with all that stuff on her face. No, I'm like, listen. And I'm like, okay, all right. If she's going to steal some money, no one's going to recognize who's taking, who stole all the money anyway. Only thing she have to do is get out of the shower and just walk out with the bag. But listen, that's the foolishness the Most High allowed us to to work our way through, and he showed mercy on us. Now, when it comes to your relationships, the Most High said in time past, he winked at our ignorance, but command everyone everywhere to repent. Right? No one can hold you accountable to something you were ignorant to.
Okay.
Right? So the whole thing is, if you're willing to put down your sin, ask the Most High to forgive you, and start anew under grace to do the right thing, there's opportunity to do that. Yes. All right. So, but whatever you do, don't put guilt on you. No one can change. You can't change. Listen, if we all had a redo to be able to do a few things in our life, we would probably do it. But think about it. If one thing, sister, went different, would you have found the truth? See?
No.
Yes, no. Exactly. So listen, Christ found us while we were in sin. It tell you that in the scriptures. We were in sin.
Yes.
He died for us. So that's where grace applies, but grace doesn't apply to excuse to break God's law on purpose. Grace isn't for that. If you're willing to do what's right, repent, and the Most High will set your life straight. And if he see fit for things to work out for you, marriage or whatever the case might be, hey, then
I hope so.
Well, hey, well,
I'll get married again. I want to get married. I'm a wife.
Well, sister, listen, you had a lot of goes at it, but I'll tell you this: the Bible. Listen. The Bible says, if you are loose, don't seek to be bound. Okay? Don't seek to be bound. This is your time to connect with the Most High, okay? All right?
Yes, sir.
And, you know,
yes, sir.
See, you think about
it. I've been doing this ever since I left my husband in 2010. So I just been focused on my family. And
well, where's he?
I went back to school. And my ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, you know, he still calls. And
I say, where is he?
Over.
Where is he?
He's in Charlotte.
Okay, call him up.
Oh, well, I do. He calls me up every day.
There it is. I mean,
but see, the attraction. Listen, once I learn who I am, I'm not attracted to him no
more. Hey,
he's
listen.
Not my type.
Oh no, you can't be doing that. Can't be doing that.
No.
All right.
I am not.
And the next time you on the camera, turn the white light on. I don't see you got these lights moving and all that.
Oh, I'm a color person. I love lights. I got them shining all over my room.
Lord have mercy.
I just like lights.
All right. Well, don't worry about it. Cut on the light the next time. All right.
Oh, yes, sir.
You got a lot of stuff moving. All right. Stay strong, and may the Most High be with you, and stay with grace, and stay with the Most High, sister. And welcome to the truth. Do what's right. Don't think about a man. Think about the Most High. He'll guide you. In due time.
Yeah, definitely is. I just wonder, just making sure that, because I made married for the wrong reason, and I was because I
Well,
didn't believe in having sex out of. I just want to make. I'm
no,
55, and I was just wondering
sister,
that.
you are overthinking it.
Okay, that's what I've been told before. I'm an overthinker.
Sister, you're overthinking
Okay,
it.
all right.
One thing at a time. Get yourself together and dive into that word.
Yes.
If you're loose, don't seek to be bound. And I'm gonna tell you, it's when you
Okay. When you define that for me, Louis, you say loose.
oh,
You don't
okay,
want to be
okay.
bound.
If you're
Okay, can
single,
you define it?
if you're single,
Uh-huh.
don't seek to be married. Like the example I can give you.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, I get it.
let me give you an example. Adam. Was he looking for Eve? He was alone.
No.
He noticed that all the other animals had a mate.
Right.
But was he looking for her? No, he woke up. She was there.
No. Yeah.
There you
He
go.
was.
And it
Okay.
says, if you're bound, don't seek to be loose. Some people think
Okay.
it's better without someone until
Mhm.
they're alone.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
So serve the Most High in order, follow God's law, and if he see fit for you to do something for his will, then his will will be done.
Yes.
All right?
Mhm. Thank you, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you.
Bless you.
You have a
Bless you.
good night.
All right.
Yes. Good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, Thawada, you can let yourself out.
Okay.
You can just let yourself out. I fell right into that one. I asked her if she wanted to put the camera on. She got strobe lights and everything going on over there. Kenneth Hayes. I got to get up early in the morning. I started so late, but I didn't want to short you brothers and sisters who was waiting so long for the broadcast. I thank you again also for all your support. Hebrew Bible Academy. Please enroll. Go to historytimes.org. Unfolding the apocalypse is the theme. All right, Kenneth. What you got? All right. I'm going to bring in Myra. All right, Kenneth, I'm going to have to Myra, you there? Myra. I'm waiting for your audio. I'm waiting for your audio, sis. Okay, you're connected now. You're connected now. Just unmute.
Gotcha. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. How you doing? Your name Myra Judah?
Yes.
Okay, what say you?
I just I remember approximately 2 or 3 weeks ago, you all asked the question like about testimonies.
Okay.
And I loved that show. But I'm trying to think how to articulate it fast.
Oh, where you from? Where you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago. How old are you?
32.
How long have you known about the truth that you're from the tribe of Judah? How long you've known that?
Well, I've actually found you all, or was led to you all earlier this year, but I had an experience that happened approximately 3 years ago.
What happened?
And what happened? The truth. What happened? What happened was. What happened was I found out that these corporations and these multi-million dollar companies, because I used to work with one,
Okay.
they truly are satanic. And
what in particular led you to realize that?
A meeting. So I had a meeting.
Okay.
And with for the men. And because as you know, I'm a black woman, so they try and put the black woman on top of the black men in a lot of these jobs.
Okay.
They really want you to demean one another. But one of the men were from Europe, and they did a ritual. And I didn't know what was going on, because when things about this go on, that's why I like the way you all teach.
Okay, hold up, sister. Hold up. You're speaking in fragments here. When you went from a woman being put over a man back to someone from Europe, rituals. Yes. What are you talking about? Stay in one space and give understanding there. Like, what rituals did you see them do?
Well, one of the gentlemen had a piece of paper with broken English on it, and it was a chant. And he wanted me to give the paper to another gentleman in the room. And when people do things that are very spiritual, you do not know, you're ignorant of, because I did not know about any of this. It's almost like fear comes on you a lot.
Okay, sister, you're doing it again.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I guess something happened.
No. You got. Now, listen to me, because the Bible tells us that the greatest gift is to edify. There's a lot of thoughts going through you right now, but you have to be able to convey or articulate a full thought. So if you're going to say that someone was doing rituals and you say they gave you a chant on the paper without expounding what that was.
Correct.
So what you have to do is to articulate a full thought before moving someplace else.
Okay. A gentleman gave me a chant on a piece of paper, and it was written in English, but it was broken English. It was almost old English. And
he gave it to you to give to who for what?
He gave it to me to give it to one of my supervisors.
For what? And what would your supervisor do with it? I don't understand. What is this? Because I worked in the corporate world before, and I've gotten memos to give to other people. But what made you believe that what he was given to you was a chant of broken English, and what did he expect you? I don't understand this.
I know. It's hard to explain.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: never make accusations that you cannot confirm, because you don't want. I'm gonna tell you why. If you did something that you deem innocent and someone related as something negative, you would be offended, right? So let's get off that, because I don't think there's no way to prove whether or not someone was doing rituals if it's passing paper around, unless you have more detail.
I have more detail.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening now.
Okay. And he gave me a paper to give to one of my supervisors, which I did. And that night I went home and prayed because I felt like something was wrong. Because the chant, it was very odd. And I asked the gentleman, like, why do you want me to give this to him? And the corporate person was like, oh, it's not going to hurt him. It's just a piece of paper. And I went home and I prayed. And I didn't know his name, but I've read the Bible since I've been about 5 years old. Because I grew up in a house that I thought was haunted.
All right, sister, listen.
So I think,
sister, listen. It's a lot of things going. Myra Judah, a lot of things going on right now. I'll make sure before I lay down to get up and get on that plane tomorrow, I'm gonna put out a prayer for you. But sister, you probably tired right now. Just get some rest. I could tell you probably had a long day. All right, just get some rest. All right. Just rest up, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. All right. So don't worry about it. Just may the Most High rest you tonight. Just get some sleep, because there's a lot of things going on. I understand that there's a lot of things happening right now. All right. Good night, Myra Judah. Stay strong. Yeah, who knows? It's probably a lot of things going on in the corporate world, but man, it's getting late. Okay, and I think that's my cue. And may the Most High be with you all. Keep in mind, I would like to tell you, brothers and sisters, that going back to it real quick before let's go here real quick. Before I end the broadcast, I would just like to remind you all, you brothers and sisters out there, August 4th begins a new run of our Hebrew and Bible Academy, and I hope to see you there. I pray that you're there. Unfolding the apocalypse. Unfolding the apocalypse is the theme. Let me tell you what's in store. Let me see if I can get it real quick here. One second. Right here. Yep. This is what you can look forward to with the next Hebrew and Bible Academy, which begins August 4th. All right. Unfolding the seals of the apocalypse, the revelation. Sunday, August 4th, 2024. I hope to see you all there, 9 a.m. Hebrew, news like none other, and the Bible lessons, everything is sent to you. You get your welcome pack. 3 full months of teachings every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be breaking down brand new lessons. We're going to be breaking down the truth about Moloch, the Moloch sacrifice that's connected to the religion that Esau learned in the land of Canaan, in Mount Seir. We're going to go into declaring the end from the beginning, the final judgment of evil, the return of the diaspora, the judgment of the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and the kingdom of God. Okay. And I'm going to make sure we go into brand new lessons for this next Hebrew Bible Academy, and I hope you all can participate and be a part of the awakening. With that, I'm going to say shalom, good night. Yeah. It's about that time. It's late, isn't it? The Most High is calling back Israel. If the news show one thing, they'll have you looking this way. Brothers and sisters, always keep your eyes, you view through prophecy. Don't allow them to suck you into their narrative. It's all a lie. We're the children of Israel, and we're back. Have a good night.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. AHAYAH's gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint to gather our wives and children and sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here.